Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lucia and this is Lulu's Leaves.
I'm no good at being good, but I never said I was. And I feel misunderstood cause I'm trying hard to love.
Today is going to be an awesome collection tour video. I guess it's not really a tour because I'm going to be sitting down here and bringing them to me. So I don't think that's considered a tour, but I do want to show you guys all of the Syngoniums that I've collected over the last little bit. I do plan on adding to this collection over the next few months, but I want to show you a starting point so that we can come back to this in a few months and see how my collection has grown. So I have recently acquired quite a few Syngoniums. Some of them are older, some of them are very recent because it's kind of recent that I got into Syngoniums as a whole, but I am very excited to show you all of them because they are turning into one of my favorite genuses. Before we do get into the video though, if you are not already subscribed, definitely make sure you click that button down below and also give this video a thumbs up. If you want to enter to win a $20 Amazon gift card, today is actually the last day to enter for tomorrow's giveaway, so make sure that you also leave a comment down below. So subscribe, like the video, and comment for your chance to win. But that is going to be all before we get into the video. I really hope you guys do enjoy it. The first Syngonium that I'm going to start off with is one that I have had for I think the longest now, and it's probably my favorite Syngonium in my collection. In terms of sentimentality, is that a word? I think so. Anyways, this plant is one that most Syngonium collectors do have. It is rare, but it's not really rare. You know, it's becoming a little bit more popular lately. So this is my albo Syngonium. I think this plant is so special. It has the most beautiful variegation, and that variegation changes so much leaf to leaf that it's always just so exciting to see what leaves are going to come out next. You can see this pure white leaf came out, but then from the sheath attached to that petiole, it does look like we are going to get some green on that leaf. I don't know if you guys can tell on the camera, but I can tell in person that there's definitely going to be some green there. So that is very exciting. You can have a plant that puts out a solid green leaf and the next leaf could be completely white. Not that that's what we really want, but that does happen. For example, this leaf was the first leaf on this little stalk, and then it put out this beautiful leaf with really nice variegation, and then right after that it put out this solid white leaf. So it definitely goes back and forth, which makes for a really beautiful marbly plant. And I think the only leaf that we still have from the original leaves is this one here. Very beautiful also, but most of the other leaves have yellowed off, and I think this one's probably going to go sometime soon. But the plant just grows so quickly that it replaces those leaves almost immediately. It also puts out some amazing little pups everywhere. You can see this plant just grew from under the soil level, and this one is nice and sectoral. Today I actually, by accident, pulled this guy out of my mother plant, so now I have a propagation. It should be a really nice one too. I will actually probably save this one for my sister. I've been telling her for a while now that I'm going to give her part of this plant, and I just haven't been able to cut it up, so this kind of forced me to do so, and I think she'll really appreciate this guy. So yeah, that is the little propagation. The next plant, a part of my collection, is also one that I cherish a lot. I love this plant so much, and it's becoming so freaking bushy. I'm talking about my little Syngonium wendlandii. Here, I'll take these beneficial bugs out of here for you guys. But this plant has just blown up in the last little bit. I think it's so cute. I actually love the fact that there are some darker leaves in there. I do prefer the look of the darker leaves, but I also just love the fact that it's bushy, so I'll take what I can get. I know there are two different types of Syngoniums that look very similar when they're juvenile. There's the rayi and the wendlandii. So I don't know if maybe I have the rayi and wendlandii in this pot, but I doubt it. This leaf here came from this lighter plant, so I imagine that it's just the fact that these guys were grown in higher light or maybe less light. I don't know exactly what brings out the darkness. Usually lower light is what causes darker leaves, but if you think that I have two different plants in this pot, you let me know, because there is definitely a possibility that that is happening here. I really do love this plant though. I think that the silver veination down the center of the leaf is so special. And if you put it under a bright light, you can really see that shine. I don't know if it's gonna come across on camera, but they do definitely have a shine down the center and not just a gray tone. Actually, now looking at this leaf, it is just so beautiful. That silver is really, really taking over the leaf. If I do find some more Syngonium wendlandii, I might actually get them to continue to add them to this pot, because I think they are one of my favorite Syngoniums, and you know, they are becoming more accessible, so why wouldn't I just create a really nice big plant if I have the option, right? So yeah, that is my Syngonium wendlandii, possibly wendlandii and rayi, but you guys let me know, because I don't know. Next up, I do want to show you guys this plant here. This is a somewhat reverted magic marble or three kings Syngonium. This is the most recent leaf since I propagated it. Well, I mean, that doesn't make sense. This leaf came out and then I propagated the top that had another semi-reverted leaf. So it did go from something like this to this. So I'm hopeful that now that I've cut it, it will go back to being more variegated. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm trying to say, but I really do love this plant, and I got this in a trade, which is really, really awesome because these guys aren't super easy to come by. So I didn't want to purchase one for a crazy price tag in case I didn't really love it, but now I am loving it. So if I do find one with higher variegation and this one doesn't push out high variegation since I propagated it, I may get a second one that is more variegated. For the time being, I'm just going to enjoy this guy, and I think, yeah, there is a new growth tip right here that I'll show you. I don't know if you can see that. The viewfinder is a little far away from me, but this guy is definitely pushing out that new leaf. So we will see soon if it's going to have any variegation. I'll give it a few leaves and then we'll just have to wait and see, but I may end up trading this one and then getting another one down the road that's a little bit more variegated. But again, we will see. This is still a very beautiful plant, but I would probably like it better if it had the more typical Three Kings variegation. Next up is a Syngonium that I was gifted, which I am so obsessed with. I probably need to water this guy. It's looking a little bit dry, but this here is my Syngonium Pink Splash. I absolutely love this plant. I think it is so cool. I love the fact that the pink is always very pink. When it comes to some other variegated plants that have pink variegation, you don't always get that nice pink color all the time, but this pink is very stable in terms of the color, and the leaves also come in a frosty green color, which is really nice. I don't know if you can see that, but they look a little bit darker than your typical green Syngonium. And I think that is because of the residual splashing on the leaves. I love the fact that this comes out looking sort of like a Thai constellation variegation, but this is a very special plant and there is some new growth coming out too, which is super exciting. I was able to hand pick this one and I definitely feel like I made the right choice. I love the fact that there's a half moon leaf here, and then there's some that also just have that nice variegation kind of splattered all over, but there's a really good mix of the variegation on this plant. So yeah, this is my Syngonium Pink Splash. I love her, I cherish her, and again, all of these plants are now in my cabinet, So it's going to be really, really nice to see some cool growth on them because they are going to grow better for sure in that higher humidity, higher light situation. Next up, I want to show you my Syngonium tri-leaf wonder. This was in my last video and I am absolutely loving the shape of these leaves. You can see this one here is super duper skinny. These guys are a little bit less skinny, but this guy is actually the newest leaf. So these leaves are definitely headed in the right direction in terms of maturity. I will show you. I actually have a second plant of this plant, and this one is more mature. I bought them together, but I split them up because they were separately rooted. Yeah, but this is what the leaves look like when they're a little bit more mature on this plant. You can see why it's called the tri-leaf wonder. I'm really excited to see how these guys morph though. I'm pretty sure this is not like the final stage of this plant. I do believe they get a little bit more elongated and they might even add a whole other lobe. I don't know, Syngoniums go through some serious transformations as they mature. So they are definitely an exciting one to watch grow. I believe these also go by the name Augustium, but I will have all of the names on the screen for you guys, and I'll give you the common names and the real botanical names of these plants. So yeah, these guys are really, really special, and this was part of my birthday gift if you saw my last video as well, so very special to me. This next plant has actually taken a turn for the worse since my last video. It was also featured in my last video. And this is my Syngonium pink spot. I did let you guys know that this was just a cutting, and typically Syngonium cuttings, in my experience, do lose some leaves. So that is definitely to be expected. I am not going to be upset if this loses its leaves because I'm pretty confident that I can root it no matter what. But we are getting some yellowing on the edges of the leaves, so they are probably on their way out. But this is a top cutting, so it looks like we are going to get a new leaf from this guy here pretty soon. I just need to root it first. But yeah, this was a gift from Leanne at Springwater, and I'm so excited to be able to add even just another Syngonium to my collection. I was looking for this one, so that was really nice of her, but I am super duper excited for this one to push out that new leaf and hopefully with it being in the greenhouse and under a nice grow light, it's going to come out with some more contrasted leaves. So some pink with some deeper pink freckles on top. So yeah, that's the Syngonium pink spot. Next up is actually one of my new favorite Syngoniums. This is very similar to the Syngonium albo in its variegation, but it also has some unique key features to it. So this one here is the Syngonium either Starlight or the T25. I believe that when they are this young, it's actually very difficult to tell which one they are, because I have read that the Starlight is actually a version of the T25, and I think it's only really visible when the plant is more mature, and this guy is really little. But this plant is a very beautiful dwarfed Syngonium, so the leaves won't ever get really large. They will definitely get bigger than this, but not by much. This here is the newest leaf. Oh my gosh, struggling. Yes, this here is the newest leaf. It's still growing a little bit and coming up to the top, but I'm excited for this one to grow in my care. I actually won this one on an auction, which was really exciting because I don't normally bid on auctions, but this was a Syngonium that I really wanted, and it was the only auction that I've ever won, I think. So it was kind of perfect timing. I'm glad it happened. And yeah, I think the leaves are just so cute, unique, and this is a stunning Syngonium. Last but definitely not least, this is one of my new favorite Syngoniums as well. Again, if you saw my last video, this was in it, but this here is my Syngonium batik. This one is very unique in terms of the veination in the leaves. It may not be super unique, but the prominent look of these veins is unique because you don't get this pure white and intense veination on any other Syngoniums like this. I think it's just such a beautiful, beautiful color, and it adds a little bit of a different vibe to my collection because most of them do have darker leaves, and this one brings in that nice color. So really, really a beautiful Syngonium, and I totally recommend it if you don't already have one of these a part of your collection. This is definitely going to be in some favorite videos down the road, so get used to seeing this one. Alright guys, well that is going to be it for today's video. I really, really hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe down below. Also leave a comment if you want to be entered into the giveaway, which will be announced tomorrow. But that is going to be all from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!